Hey guys, this is Justin at the Survivor Review, and today I'm going to do something I haven't done in a while on this channel, and that is talk about a trailer. I kind of stopped doing trailer reviews like a while ago. I just didn't really feel the need to do them anymore, like it just didn't really seem necessary. But a trailer just got released that I definitely feel like I have some stuff to say and I have some stuff to talk about with it in regards to the movie that's coming out, and it's for the newest film in the horror franchise, Halloween. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the channel or anything, I'm a die-hard Halloween fan. The original is my second favorite movie of all time, under Jaws, and it's probably my most influential film. Like, I've taken so much from that movie. It's just a huge movie for me. And I even love the franchise, you know, flaws and all. Well, aside from the Rob Zombie movies, we all know what I feel on those. That aside, I really enjoy this franchise, even with all the issues it has. Mostly because, you know, I kind of grew up on these movies, so I have some nostalgia towards them, and there are some sequels I do genuinely enjoy. So, like I said, huge fan of this franchise, especially the original, and the fact that a new movie is coming out is kind of a big deal. And I've always kind of wanted to talk about this movie since it was announced, like what my feelings on them doing this movie, but I never got around to doing that. So this video is going to be kind of a combo of that and my opinion on the trailer. Because, like, when they first announced this movie and they're like, Danny McBride and David Gordon Green, the director of Pineapple Express, were going to be making this movie, I was like, okay, that's completely out of left field, but I don't know, maybe that'll work. And then they announced that John Carpenter was coming back. And that intrigued me, not so much initially, because they're like, oh, he's going to executive produce it. And it's like, okay, that doesn't really mean anything. I mean, he also executive produced the Fog remake. You know how much involvement he had in that, which was none. But he seemed excited to return to the franchise. Plus, I'm not sure if it's exactly been confirmed or just discussed, but he might be doing the score for the movie, which is easily my most excited thing about this whole movie. That's the one thing I'm the most looking forward to, is a new John Carpenter score. So that got me excited. I was like, okay, this could be something cool. This could be something good, you know? And then they announced what the premise of the movie is going to be. And that it was going to be a direct sequel to the original, ignoring everything else that came, in between, and it's going to star Jamie Lee Curtis. And you think that would excite me, but not really. Honestly, that's the thing that really turned me off from this movie. And ever since that announcement, I haven't been interested in this movie at all, because I just think it's unnecessary to, bring back Jamie Lee Curtis and to do another direct sequel to the original, which now adds, a third timeline to this franchise. Because you already have the last time Jamie Lee Curtis returned to this franchise with H2O, which ignored all the other sequels and was a direct sequel to Halloween 2. And I'm just like, this is just getting complicated and we don't need this. To me, the perfect way to reboot this franchise is to do, an Incredible Hulk-style reboot, where you introduce his backstory in the opening credits. You can update the years a bit so it's not 40 years ago, and say oh, he killed his sister when he was a kid, got locked up, and 15 years later he broke out, went on a killing spree in Haddonfield, and hasn't been seen since. And then you start the new movie, and he appears back in Haddonfield after so many years, and goes on to the killing spree, and just kind of start fresh, while still retaining the feel of the original. I feel like that's the perfect way to do it. And to do another direct sequel that brings back Jamie Lee Curtis, I'm like, nah, I'm just not interested in that at all. So I've been just kind of turned off from this movie. Until they started releasing pictures a couple days ago, and they released that picture of Michael Myers standing in the closet, which looks awesome. And the new mask, which actually looks really good. It's probably the best looking mask out of all the sequels, And then the trailer dropped. And you know what? It sold me. I'm actually really looking forward to this movie. The trailer, it does kind of, nostalgia bait you by having the classic theme play throughout it, and a lot of, sound effects and music cues from the original movie are in there. And I might be blinded a bit by nostalgia and by my love for that, but I thought the trailer was really effective. I like the tone it's going for. It feels like the original movie. It has the spirit of Halloween. Now, I do have some issues with some directions they're going. I really don't like how they kind of retconned the ending of the original movie, and apparently Michael Myers got caught. And on that night, he didn't just disappear after being shot off the balcony. He actually got caught and has been locked up for 40 years. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's kind of dumb. And it kind of just undoes the, like, creepiness of the original ending, so that kind of annoys me. There's that aspect. The whole kind of, like, Jamie Lee Curtis, like, the way her character is, where she's been, like, gearing up for this moment, like, she's, like, practicing shooting guns and, like, has everything set up, is, like, it's a little over the top. I kind of like the way they handled her character in H2O, where she's, like, a struggling alcoholic just trying to get by and trying to, like, move past this, but she just can't. Like, I feel like that was the kind of more realistic direction, and I think that kind of works better than the kind of, like, over-the-top survivalist. But there's just a lot of great moments in this trailer. I like the scene in the bathroom where he drops, you know, the teeth over the door. That was great. I liked the bit at the end with him in the closet door. I thought that was a good creepy moment. You know, and there is some good, like, stuff. I also like the shot where Jamie Lee Curtis sees him through the window, but it's actually his reflection in the mirror, and she shoots at it. Like, I like those moments. Those are the moments that, like, give me hope that this will be, like, a good, like, true successor to the original film. You know, it still feels really weird to have Halloween 2, though, retconned. Because no matter what timeline you follow with the original, like, series, Halloween 2 was always there. Like, that was always what happened. Like, that insane massacre on Halloween night that went throughout the entire night, you know? And to have that completely gone just feels just kind of weird. And there is a lot of moments in the trailer that do kind of recreate stuff from the original. And I'm really kind of worried that the movie, like, will turn into that. Because plot-wise, this movie is basically a remake of the original. To the point where Michael Myers is locked up, he breaks out, goes back to Haddonfield, which you could have avoided all that if you have just said, like, oh, you know, he disappeared Halloween night and was never seen again, and he pops back up 40 years later. You know, that would also give, like, Laurie Strode more motivation to be all, like, gun crazy and, like, survivalist ready, because you never know, any minute he could pop up, you know? That would have made a bit more sense. Like, we didn't need that stuff, especially that stuff at the beginning where the documentary crew is going in there. Which, I don't know, I found that stuff kind of fun, even though it was kind of, like, again, a little over the top and ridiculous. With, like, that big giant, like, courtyard and him, like, taking the mask out of the bag. It was a little kind of silly. And also with all that stuff from the original movie being recreated, I am a little worried this might turn out to be kind of like Blair Witch, you know, where the trailer for the new Blair Witch movie is all like, oh, it's going to be like a new take on the original movie. It's going to be awesome and unique. And then you watch it and it's just like, oh, it's just basically a modern remake of the original Blair Witch Project. And I hope this movie doesn't turn into that. You know, where we're thinking like, oh, it's going to be a great, like, return to old school Halloween. And then you watch it and you're like, oh, it's just like a carbon copy of the original. Hopefully there's enough unique stuff in there to kind of have it stand apart from the original while still paying homage to it. Because like I said, this trailer, captured the spirit of the original. And you know what? That's all I really want out of a new Halloween movie. Like, yeah, the plot's going to be similar, but then again, there's not a whole lot you can really do with the storyline of Halloween. I just hope this movie, like, captures the spirit, captures the suspense, because that's what's most important, and is genuinely creepy. Like, that's what we really need from a new Halloween movie. Not any of that Rob Zombie crap that didn't even feel like it should have been named Halloween, you know? Just great old school style suspense, and it seems like that's what we're getting from the trailer, and that gets me excited. Also, another thing to bring up is that they did take away the whole brother-sister storyline idea from the movie. So now Laurie Strode is not Michael's sister, which I'm fine with that. You know, the brother-sister, like, family storyline was always kind of shoehorned in. But them eliminating that in this one, I think, is kind of a unique take. It is kind of a funny line at the beginning where the people are talking, like, oh, isn't she his sister? And he's like, no, that's just stories that people are saying. That's not true. I'm like, I guess that's a fun little line. And I like that. I think it's kind of a neat, you know, unique take on there. It showed me enough to where I'm excited for it as a movie. I'm kind of getting past the whole thing of, like, it being an unnecessary, like, new timeline, basically. I'm looking past that now, and as a movie, yeah, it looks pretty dang good, and it got the Halloween feeling down, and that's what's most important. Also, they could have tried a bit harder with the title. You know, just calling it Halloween, I think it's a really lazy excuse for a title. Like, it's the third movie now in the franchise that's just called Halloween. And it also makes it really weird that it's a direct sequel to the original. So if you want to ignore everything else, you have Halloween and Halloween. It's like the Thing prequel being called The Thing. It's like, oh, you got the two Thing movies, The Thing and The Thing. It's like okay, like, I wish they would have come up with a more, like, interesting and unique title. But, you know, in the long run, the title is not what's important about the movie. It's the movie itself, which I said I'm really excited to see what they bring us come October. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Halloween trailer. And really, that's about it for now. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.